This video just shows how nice my CR10 printer fit on one of these little Harbor Freight workstations. Seemed to be the cheapest option at the time. I picked this up, I think it was 1995 with one of those coupons that they had back in, I think it was early November. And I put it together. I did make a video of putting it together, but it was with my old camera and it never saved it. So you just have to follow the instructions, and it's really pretty simple to put the unit together. It's just some bent up tin that they made it out of, but actually it turns out pretty strong in the end. And then I had some old pieces of plywood laying around. I decided to replace the shelving that they give you that comes with it. The material that it comes with is like 4mm thick. It's like a real stiff cardboard that I just didn't think would stand up over time. And I knew it was going to sag, and it just wouldn't last for the weight I'm putting on it. But if you're putting a little less weight on it, it would be fine, I guess. So I just took some pieces of plywood, cut some dado so it would sit down in the rails, and I had to cut a couple different depths because of the way the unit assembles, where you have one side on top of the other when the sheet metal pieces go in. You can see there how they're overlapped. And there's the bottom shelf, so that one was cut so it would just drop in there and it wouldn't look too thick. The picture, when they show you how to assemble it, they tell you to just drop those other cardboard pieces in the bottom, but I decided to do it this way to make it fit my needs a little better. And then I just had some old gray latex paint that I just decided to put 2 coats on both sides of everything, just to clean it up a little bit and make it look kind of matching. So I got the bottom one in there, and then I just had to go back and make the top shelf. There you can see the stuff that comes with it, the stock thing. It's just like a 4mm thick cardboard. It's not too stiff, so I think it's really a good idea to replace it, but you could probably use it too. So I got the 2 shelves made, and then I'm going to put the printer controller on that top shelf, sticking out with the fan blowing down. And I needed a hole in the top to get my wiring up through. So I picked a spot where it would fit. Now the wiring actually comes out a little bit short for the Z height. I haven't printed up near 300mm yet, so I'm not worried about it. But in the future, I see they make a set of extension cables that I'll probably pick up to allow me to go a little bit higher on it. So the printer itself actually is a perfect fit on the top that comes on the workstation. And then I just wanted to put some cork on it to muffle some of the noise. I know I did that when I had it on my desk. I put some cork on a piece of plywood, and it did absorb a lot of the noise that came out of it. So I cut 2 pieces of old cork floor tiles, and then I had the can of, I got some of that latex base contact adhesive. And what you do is you just put a coat on the both sides, one on each of the the mating faces. Put a good coat on it, and then you have to just let it dry for, I think it takes about 20-25 minutes until it's basically dried and tack free. So once it's tack free, you can just put the pieces together, and you have to be careful when you're laying them down, because once they do make contact, they pretty much are stuck for good and very hard to move. So I just just would carefully lay them down on there, and it'll give me a nice, hopefully it'll muffle some of the sound of the printer. I'll find out once I get to use it again. But it just took 2 pieces because the floor tiles are only like 12 inches wide. So I just stuck them down and took a J roller just to push down the contact cement like you do when you do anything with it. And then I just took that little Harbor Freight trim router that I beat up pretty good and put a flush trim bit on there with a ball bearing tip. I just went back and did the final trimming of the cork to be the exact same size as the top that came with it. So that kind of, cleaned it up pretty good, and basically all ready now to, just bring up and put together. I know there's thousands of these printers being sold that, people need a stand for, so I just thought I'd share this to, maybe give somebody else an idea if they're looking for a real cheap stand. So there it is with the cork on it, and you can see that the printer fits nicely on top of it. It does stick out a little bit on the back, that one stepper motor, but it fits nice, for my application. And I mean, these stands could probably be used for a lot of other items too. So, there it is. Everything's all on there, and I wound up just hanging the roll of filament up off the side for now. I'm gonna make another better bracket to hold that in the future, but and there you can see how the wires just go down through that hole, and they're just barely long enough, but they do, they do work, and the controller sits right there. It hangs out in the front. I put some thick foam rubber under the front edge of it just to hold it up in the air flush and make sure that the fan section is not over the shelf. And then I picked up one of these ammo crates online to store my filament in. You have to try to keep it, out of the humidity and stuff, so I figured this would be a good way to do it. It's got a nice O-ring seal in it. Supposedly it's weatherproof, and it seems to be pretty weatherproof, and it holds 4 of the kilo rolls of the filament and 1 smaller roll. And then I just have a couple of those dry packs that I threw down in the bottom, and I'll change them every once in a while, and hopefully this will make the filament last longer, because from what I understand, the humidity can actually damage this stuff before it's printed. So that did work as a good cheap way to store a couple rolls of it and keep them away from the environment. And I'll probably pick up another one of them in the future as I add more, colors of the filament. But, so basically I just wanted to share this, if anybody else has got the same thing going on. It's a real easy solution to, having a nice sturdy stand to put the printer on that, doesn't break the bank. And you really don't have to make the heavier shelves. You probably could just, use what's there. But I just felt a little better putting it together the way I did, and making a little bit heavier shelf for it. And I guess I'll find out over time how this case works for keeping the humidity and light off the filament. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.